And if you can see, it says Scribbles That Matter. And this is my new work bullet journal. I have a micron pen in the pen loop. This notebook comes with the pen loop. It is very, very nice. So when you open it up, this is what it says. I'm going to go in just a little closer. So I wrote my email address and when I started it, and this says, tip to avoid ruining your new journal, try out all new pens on the pen test page at the end. And at the back it has a pocket, and it has this little like piece of ribbon right here, and it has all these little doodles that are adorable. And I did some pen testing. I did some watercolor with my Pentel aqua brush. I did one of the Zig calligraphy pens, these. I did a Crayola marker, I did a mild liner, and the platinum carbon ink, because I know those are the ones. And right now it looks like the watercolor is really the only thing that's bleeding through, and it does bleed through, especially if you have too much water. So then you open up the journal and it says Scribbles That Matter, an A5 dotted journal. And you can see I've already started filling things out. There is some shadowing, some ghosting, and there is some bleed through, like I said, but the paper is actually thicker than the Leuchtturm paper. So they have a key for a bullet code and a color code, and I have done just that. I have my index, which I have started. And now, like I said, this is my work bullet journal. And as most of you know, I am a lover of all things Snoopy. So I did Snoopy in various things that I am doing throughout this year. I have Snoopy with a ladder because I am doing DIY projects. I have Snoopy with a chef hat because I am cooking, trying new recipes. I have Snoopy with a camera, taking pictures. Snoopy with the typewriter, I am writing. Snoopy with the flowers, I am gardening. Snoopy is an artist, I am creating art. Snoopy with the books, I am reading. And Snoopy with coffee. I mean, hello, you know, this is so me. So, we start right here with the future log and see a little bit of that bled through. And I did things a little bit differently for future log because I only did these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months because I don't know how long this is going to last, and I can always put another future log in. I don't do a whole lot of I do some future planning, but most of the future planning I'm actually doing in my Hobonichi. So I have my big goals right here: personal, YouTube, Patreon, blog, and an income, a finance goal, because some of my bigger goals, you know, these were for the year. And they are the big goals, so I have smaller ones. This is an expense tracker, so I can keep up with stuff that I use, that I order, and the date that it comes in is over here, so I know what I'm waiting on, so I don't have to actually create a waiting on. And I left this page blank so that I can continue on with that. And this is viewer request. This is all YouTube stuff and a YouTube schedule. So as you can see, this is the coffee chat. And I'm filming. So if I get a request, I can write down the date, and then this will be the date that I did it, what the request was, who did the request, and what video that request came from. And like I said, this is the YouTube actual schedule. And then this is my blog schedule, and they are back to back so that I can review. And this says whether or not I share the YouTube video, whether it is you know, coinciding with the YouTube video. And this is my Patreon schedule. And I just started this in May, so the first week of May I didn't do it. I just started setting this up because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to use this for a bullet journal, if I was just going to use it for some journaling. But I decided to go ahead and I use this for all the personal stuff, you know, my personal planning and stuff like that. And then I've decided to use this as a health and wellness and fitness and stuff. Let's see if it'll focus. So I'm going to be tracking my exercise and my stretches along with some of my food, and I'll be doing some stuff over here. And that left you know, a few things. I mean, I have the to-dos, and that's on the smaller Hobonichi. I was doing that, and then I decided maybe I should go back to doing the journal prompts, because I really do like doing the journal prompts. And I talked about this with Patreon, because the journal prompts were so fun doing it on here. They were just, I like doing just the journal prompts in here. And I did it for the couple of days, the beginning. I mean, I didn't do it for the first few days of May. I actually did all the planning. And I just don't like doing, I missed doing the journal prompts in here, because there are some days when I don't want to do the journal prompts in my Omni journal. So I'm going to go back to doing journal prompts in there. I know, hit or miss, I'm going back and forth, back and forth. So this is, I mean, I do have some things for home stuff, but most of this is going to be all of what I do that I consider to be work. Let's see if I can go a little closer. Nope. Okay, I think this might be as good as it gets, y'all. So here is my May, and I did do a home in here, because sometimes if I have something going on with home, I need to know, because I have to plan stuff for work. So I'm not finished with this, I'm still working on this. So I put the stuff over here, but I also put the numbers over here, so I don't have to use a ruler every time. And there is bleed through. I'm going to show you why in a minute. So this is this week right here, in this. What I've done is a master to-do list. And here's Snoopy with the flowers. And I've written stuff down. And I did this. And you know what? It bled through. And I didn't use a whole lot of water on this one. But the markers work great. So I'm probably going to be using my mild liners and my Crayola super tips and stuff in here, because this isn't really where I'm journaling. I'm just doing a few things. So this is my video and blog post planner. This is for today. I don't have to worry about it smearing, because I'm not going to be so date, I have here, I have stuff, film coffee chat, I've done that part, film setup part. I don't know about outros. I did look up some stuff, so I'm going to go back to the video where the girl's doing them with PowerPoint, see if I can do that. So right here, this is where I'm at, and this is today's. And I do want to do the books I'm going to be reading, 52 books for the year. I do want to do a few other things, because all of it's relevant. But so far, so good. Now, there's, I think, one more square across, maybe. The dot grid, let's see. There. I think that's focused enough there you can see it. So, I am really liking the notebook so far. It doesn't have as many pages. It has 201 pages. It has 2 pages for the pen test. Like I said, it does come with the pen holder. It does come with 2 bookmarks. So it's pretty comparable to the Leuchtturm. They're pretty much the same size. Let's see. This is a Leuchtturm, but this one's lined. So yeah. The feel of this is more vinyl, and it's a little poofier. But overall, the pages are pretty close. Let's get my official bullet journal out, which is in my Writer's Bible. This is a little bit yellower. It's a little bit whiter. And the Leuchtturm, like I said, has more pages. The official bullet journal has, well, of reusable pages, 238 it says. And like I said, this one has 201 plus the 2 pages for the pen test. So I'm really happy with the journal. I watched a few different reviews. Somebody complained about this page being here. I don't mind that page being here. I can doodle, or I can put vision board stuff on that if I want. I am only disappointed about the watercolor, because I finally got to the point where I could watercolor on the Leuchtturm pages. But you know, this paper is a higher GSM. I think this one's like 100 GSM than the Leuchtturm. But you know what? Think this paper, I have a Rhodia, and this paper reminds me a lot of the Rhodia paper in the dot grid. Only this one has an index, and I'm loving how this is set up. I love this part. I went ahead and did my bullet code, and I did my color code, and I'm indenting for May, and have the bigger stuff, and I will do, you know, stuff in here, and I'll show you why I'm doing this. Like I said, the Hobonichi is for my home and personal and stuff like this. So here is May's week review, the first week of May, and here I've done some tracking, and this is my weekly setup right here for this week. Okay, so I talk about how it feels good to be journaling again, you know, getting things done, but now that I'm back to basics with the planning, it's time to step up the game with my planning. This week has gone well enough, but I really need to get more stuff together, get my shit together, like the blog, Patreon, YouTube, the Facebook groups, and everything else, home, work, personal. So my big goals. I ordered this notebook, and this is, I started writing this before I got it in. Ordered the Scribbles, That Matter notebook, do a review of it, and then set it up, or set it up and then do the review. Film both. What do you use it for? Work bullet journal, or use this, and use, you know, the other old one for practice. Use it for a personal bullet journal, knowing that that doesn't really work for me. And I put, nope, you know that it works better for you to journal and plan together, so use the new notebook for work, and the old one as a practice journal. And I do basic stuff in here weekly, but I don't do any daily planning in here. I don't do any daily planning in here. So using my Omni journal for almost everything really works best for me, but I do need to keep work stuff separate. So having this allows me to keep track of things monthly. This sort of you know, goes as a guide to kind of keep things together, because I like having this in here, but I realize this is too much work for in here. I need to have this in here. I didn't want to take up all my pretty pages, and this is last week's in here, and I do all my home stuff in here. Home, finance, the personal stuff, which left work to keep track of. And that meant video scheduling. That meant Patreon scheduling. That meant anything that has to do with the blog, with my website, with the Facebook groups, things like that. So I decided that this would be a whole lot better if I did it in here. You know, I have some oops, you know, some stuff that, you know, didn't turn out quite as pretty as I wanted it. The paper is different. And, you know, like I said, there is some bleed through, but the artist in me doesn't really mind that so much. I'm trying to, like I said, combine left brain and right brain. And the ADHD, I don't mind that there is overlap. Okay, this is this week. And this is about as non-artistic, as minimalistic as I go. So let's move this so you can really see. So this, as you can see, is the arty stuff. You know, and this right here is the business stuff. So I have just some basic stuff in here I know I need to do. And I created art, you know. And this is the down to the nitty gritty. What do I really need to do? So I don't have to stick, here's last week's. So I don't have to stick stuff in my Hobonichi that includes stuff for the week, like this. So I don't have to do that for work, because that's what I did, is I put work stuff in here, And I was like, you know what? It's not working. I don't want to have to add work stuff to my Hobonichi, like an addition, like a supplement. So this work bullet journal has become my supplement. I have my Omni journal for everything, and it's Grand Central Station. And like I've talked about before, I have a spiritual traveler's notebook that has a spiritual bullet journal in it that has astrology and the moon and stuff like that. And then I have a bullet journal that has tarot where I'm learning tarot. So, you know, that's what I'm doing for that. And then I put this in here for now because it makes sense to me to have them together for now. I like the cute little icons on this. I do. I like the cute little icons on it. So that's what I have for this, and I'm going to end this and get it all together so that I can do an actual flip through of my Omni journal and have that one maybe up for y'all Tuesday. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye.